about a nigga that'll fuck your whole world up. You and your boys make a scene, I'm thinking AC Green, cause it's gonna be at least 4 or 5 you niggas in the room curled up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You ain't nothing but a MC.
Welcome to another edition of the Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, bringing you the latest in battle rap news. And I am the illest battle rapper in the game. Now, in this episode, I'm going to do a recap on the Ultimate Madness Week 1 tournament, Ultimate Madness 3. I'm kind of late with this recap, but I really wanted to watch some battles over because it's hard, man. To kind of, some of the battles were clear, and then other battles I watched, and then I said, you know what, I gotta watch this again. After hearing, somebody else say something, I said, I gotta watch this again. Like I was saying before, the tournament was for 100K, so this was the first round. Now, I'm not gonna go into bar for bar because that'll just take forever, but I'll just tell you who I thought won. Drugs and Yoshi. I believe that was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. I had Drugs taking that pretty clearly. Maybe he lost the third, but by then he had already won, So, and then we had Suede 7 versus Prep. That was one of those that I watched a couple times. Now, they gave it to Prep, but Suede was very upset. He felt that he got robbed. And I was like, you know what? I watched it. Now, when first watch, I thought, Prep won, 2-1. I watched it a couple more times. When I watched it just tonight, I gave Suede the first. The second, that was up in the air. But no, I would say I would give Suede the second more definitively than the first, but I gave him the first. I just kind of, after listening to it a few times, I kind of liked the way he came a little better, the way he rapped a little better. You know what I'm talking about, whatever. But the third round was Prep's round. Now, to me, I gave it to Suede, but I don't think them giving it to Prep was highway robbery, because it wasn't like a whooping to where you're like, I know Suede won. To me, you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. Like I said, I wouldn't want to be a judge for this, because no matter how you look at it, you're going to, get on somebody's bad side. Now we have Cortez and Official. Cortez, hey man, you gotta give like they say, man, if you can knock a man when he's down, you better damn sure give him some love when he's doing something good. Cortez hit the little rough patch, but he showed that he is who he is, and he just beat Official clearly. Official was stumbling through her rounds. Her first round, she brought it back early. I was like, come on, Official. But when I analyzed her material, I feel like even if she'd have got through her material, Cortez's material was just better. Official was just like, I don't know, man. I like Official, but at the same time, it's like, when you're a female and all you're doing is come up with these gun bars, it's just, I don't know. And then it was like, I even saw, I heard that she said that, she couldn't think of nothing to write. She had writer's block for Cortez, and she was already looking forward to whoever she was having in the next bracket. And I just don't get that. Why? That's such a disrespect to Cortez to say you couldn't come up with nothing for him. Because at the end of the day, this is 100K on the line. So it's not about Cortez anymore. It's not about your opponent. It's about the big picture. And all I can say to that is serve her right. Because if that's the attitude you have going into a battle where you can possibly win 100K, you need to get bounced. You needed to get bounced in the first round. Another battle which was Sirius Jones versus Romney. That was a battle that when I first spoke with a friend of mine, I was like, man, he said, who you got? I said, Romney. And then I thought about it. I said, I don't know. Jones don't really lose like that. And then I changed my mind and went with Jones. Now, first watch, I couldn't really tell you who won. I'm just going to be honest. I can't, that's why I couldn't be, it's hard to be a judge because I just couldn't capture everything. But, you know, sometimes I just got to watch it back. Unless it's just a body. Okay, I watched it a couple times. And after a couple times watching it, I gave Jones the second and the third. But Romney was declared the winner. Now, here's the thing. Jones was livid, you know, as Suede was too, but Jones was more livid than Suede because when Suede got the decisions, Suede was like, this is nonsense or whatever, you know. It was serious, like, oh, y'all need to get us some better judges. He slams the door, all that. He goes on his media tour, smearing the judges. He's showing Geechee Gotti the Twitter vote, how many people said he won, and he won, and the judges this and the judges that. What we find out, that he recycled in his third round from a battle he had against a cat named Tony D. And he was, and make it crazier, these was rounds that apparently he forgot because he was saying it on his phone. Man, you know what? You can't erase somebody's career because whatever Sirius Jones accomplished, he accomplished. But to be on that type of level, that makes him look bad. And then it also looks bad because with the accusations the ARP had, it gives it a lot of validity. It really makes it look like, you know, Jones, like whatever ARP said you did, you did. Now, recycling is recycling. You really can't make that look good. But if Sirius had just went peacefully into the wind on some like, hey, I tried, it wouldn't have looked this bad. But all the hell you was raising, it gives it that like con, like okay, you just a con. This is how you do. Like yeah, you know. And I don't know Jones. I don't know Jones, but just I don't know. Something shady about Jones. I don't know. Jones looked like he'd sell you a gift card with no money on it or something. But yeah, man, Jones, you lost. You had us saying you got robbed, and then we find out that, and he used a good portion. It might not have been the whole round, but it was at least a good 10 bars. Made no sense to me. But then we had Ttop versus Jack Boy. The judges gave it to Jack Boy, and it was a battle that I had to watch a couple times. Jack Boy, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not a big Jack Boy fan. I'm not. But he did do his thing. I gotta give it to him. He got off. He really did. The first round, I felt like Ttop was, just me. I felt like Ttop had a little more substance, whereas Jack Boy had a little more flash with the performance. The second round, was close. The third, I think I edged Jack Boy, but man, it was a close battle. It was a close one. Very tough to call. I would have hated to been, you know, the person to have to make that judgment because I felt like I gave Ttop the first. I gave Jack Boy the third. It comes down to that second. So I tell you this. I don't have a problem with them giving it to Jack Boy because I felt like it was a close battle. Then you had Jerry West versus Swamp. That was another one. Very close battle. I gave Jerry West the first round. I gave Swamp the second. And the third is like, it can kind of, because I know Swamp had a nice line about, you know, breaking down dimes like Kevin Samuels. But I didn't want to necessarily let that blind me into saying he won the whole round. Because Swamp tends to, when he has those, he's not a back-to-back kind of guy. you know. So his punchline is more like a realistic phrase, if you will, but it's still a punchline if you want to call it that. But whatever you want to call it, Swamp doesn't really necessarily come with those back to back. But when he comes with it, it can sort of seem like he won the round. Jerry West, if I had to sum this up, this whole battle up, Jerry West was a little more on the punch side, whereas Swamp was more into what Swamp do. But when it was all said and done, me personally, they gave it to Swamp. And at first watch, if I was a judge, I probably would have gave it to Swamp. But if they had gave it to Jerry West, I don't think that would have been a crime. Now we had Geechee Gotti versus Riggs. I mean, we all know who Geechee is. And if you watch Battle Rap, you know who Riggs is. You know, Riggs been on URL before, bullpen, whatnot. Riggs does what he do. Riggs is solid. He don't really be out there losing like that. But Geechee did win this battle, clearly. I've seen Riggs much more impressive than he was. He wasn't bad, but it just felt uninspired, if that's the word, the best word to use. Especially when you consider 100K on the line. I've seen Riggs do way better than that for obviously not 100K, so I don't know. But it is what it is, man. We all humans, so I ain't gonna pour salt on the wound, but he lost. Then the battle of all battles. Twerk, New Jersey Twerk versus KCJ. Twerk, where have you gone wrong? Well, let's get right to it. Twerk lost the battle. But he didn't just lose. I mean, he damn near choked every round. And at one point, he said he was hyperventilating. You tell me. I'm 50 years old. I never hyperventilated in my life. Twerk's what, maybe 25, 26? There's no reason for him to be hyperventilating. This makes no sense. And you know what's crazy? I mean, as talented as Twerk is, I couldn't possibly pick him to win a whole tournament knowing how horrible his work ethic is. But I figure with this being the beginning of the tournament, he may, show up. Because talent-wise, he's better than KCJ. But you know what? I'm not gonna make it that. He wasn't there. KCJ wasn't fire. She was better against Swamp. But nevertheless, she won. Twerk, wow. It was just like Twerk, I don't know how you can be that bad and yet still steal the show. He stole the show in the sense of like, you're watching this like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. Twerk is, I don't know. I mean, evidently there's something going on, in the URL family tree, because Twerk has some type of voodoo hex over Smack and Beasley to where there's nothing he can do wrong. And I get it. It's not necessarily about who's the best technically, but about who's a ticket seller. I get it, but still, you do want the person to show up to work. I mean, if Twerk, just had let's just say if he just had 3 rounds that wasn't that stellar, you would still been disappointed, but like you just look at it like, okay, Twerk wasn't on. But he literally like didn't have any material. And it's the weirdest thing. I mean, because I try to process this, like, man, he's young, or maybe he never asked for this success. Or, you try to kind of process this in your mind. But I'm like, this is weird, because you got people that go to their job. They don't like their job, but they still do their job. That would be the equivalent to going to like McDonald's and you just go in there in your pajamas or something and you just go to sleep. You ain't even going to try to fake work. You're just going to go to sleep. I mean, I've heard these crazy stories about Twerk writing rhymes the day of the battle. And this is always, this is not like a one-time thing where he gets overbooked No, this is just what he does. And it's amazing to see how this plays out. I don't know what to say, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I was laughing. Not laughing in a way of like kicking a man when he was down, but I was just laughing in a like, can you believe this? Like Twerk, when I saw him Twerk choke the first time, I remember thinking like, get the fuck out of here. I just threw him. I said, get the fuck out of here. Twerk does it again. And then he said, I'm hyperventilating. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And it was just like watching a boxer get knocked down and they try to get up and they just fall from one side of the ring to the other and they just fall. It's like, yo, just lay down. It's over. Twerk. Wow. You know, I didn't know how to put that in words, but it was embarrassing. You know, I don't have the remote control of Twerk's life. So whatever's going on with Twerk, I don't think it's something where he can be reached. Because if I'm sure somebody's spoken to him, young or older, and if they ain't reached him, ain't nobody gonna reach him. All I can say is Twerk is a different type of dude. He has to be, because to be in his position and just literally just don't give a fuck. It's amazing. It's amazing. And apparently it's working because he keeps getting booked. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the tournament next week. That's just how much of a hex he has on Smack. The man could do no wrong. Unbelievable. That was a horrible performance. Wow. Yeah, it was a bad accident, but everybody watched it. Yeah, but you know what? Overall, you know, I enjoyed, you know, the tournament. It was interesting, you know. Like I said, I darn sure wouldn't want to be a judge. I would not want to be a judge. But I enjoyed the tournament. And, you know, like and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment. And on that note, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.